I got Spirit, yes I do. I've got Spirit, and LG and MetroPCS do too. It's a Friday, that's terrible. How's it going, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and this is the LG Spirit 4G by MetroPCS. Let's put it to the test and a full PhoneDog review. I'm digging a lot of the mid-range phones out there right now because one reason, and well, actually more than one reason probably, but one big reason is the cost. I mean, the price point has been lowered to a point where you can get this phone for a pretty reasonable price. MetroPCS has some great plans that include 4G LTE if you're in a market that support it, and like I've said in previous videos, in 2013 I'm committed to providing more prepaid coverage on PhoneDog.com because I think more than ever it's a huge option for people that want to cut down on those expensive wireless bills. This is the LG Spirit 4G on MetroPCS, and like I said, it fills in all those gaps. It's a powerful smartphone, you know, that's not as high-end by any means as the Galaxy S3 or the Note 2 or the One X Plus, the Droid DNA, or the litany of other high-end devices out there, but what it brings to the table is a dual-core processor and decent specifications for a great price point. So, you know what, you're probably going to want the Note 2 or the Droid DNA or whatever the case may be, some high-end device. Maybe your mom doesn't, maybe your dad doesn't, maybe they just want a nice Android smartphone that runs well, that's got a dual-core processor. This is going to be a great device for them, or maybe you're looking to save some money. In that case, this could be a great device for you. Specs-wise, nothing to scoff at. 1.2 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 CPU. You've got 1 gigabyte of RAM in this device. You've got a 2,150 milliamp hour battery, which is removable. And let's think back to the unboxing. How did I get the battery door off? Ah, there it is. Removable battery. 4G LTE SIM card, micro SD card slot, nice build quality as well, nice look and feel, silver, looks good, fits good in the hand, fits well in the hand I should say to be grammatically correct, 4.3 ounces, fits real good in the hand. I do live in Dallas, what can I say, 4.3 gigabytes of internal storage, and then you got a 4.5 inch LCD with 540 by 960 pixels, so it is an IPS display with that, like I said, 540 by 960 pixels. Out of the box, you do get some MetroPCS stuff. You got 4G mobile hotspot capabilities here. App Store, you got, scroll down through here, File Share, that's an LG thing. M Studio, Metro Block It, Metro 411, Easy Wi-Fi, Web. You got Movies, Music Player, My Extras, My Metro. I mean, the list goes on and on. Pocket Express, Rhapsody, Sportacular, Yahoo Sportacular. And then you get some video editing goodies out of the box. Now, LG's user interface is running atop Android 4.0, also known as Ice Cream Sandwich, so it's not the newest version of Android. It's not even Jelly Bean, the first version of Jelly Bean, but it still brings a nice, fast version of Android to a mid-range device, which I like a lot. And also, LG's user interface, although it's still kind of behind in the personalization department in comparison to the industry leaders right now, TouchWiz, Sense, and to a lesser extent Motorola's UI, it does bring some cool goodies to the table, which I always like to talk about in these reviews because I think a lot of people like to customize their devices. So we'll talk about those really quickly. One of my favorites that I actually didn't realize until a couple of months ago on LG's user interface is this, where you press and hold an application and you see the little edit option that pops up. Well, you can change the look and feel of that button. So you know what? You're tired of the stock messaging button or icon, rather. You want it to be an M for messaging or a T for text. You can make it an M. I can change contacts. I can make it a picture of my face if I want to, so people don't ever go into it because it's terrifying. You get the idea. Again, well, actually, I just made the same contact, but you get the idea. I can make phone P, for example, and really customize this device and make it my own. So in the customization wars, that's a nice little touch out of the box. Now up top, notification bar. This is a similar look and feel to other LG devices, but what I like about this, very similar to Samsung with the toggle, but what I like is you can go over here to edit, and let's say, you know what, I'm always in an airplane, so airplane mode is priority, but after that, you know what, I like Quick Memo a lot, and I like Bluetooth. I use it on a regular basis, and then Wi-Fi, GPS, I pretty much keep that on all the time. Sound profile, let's throw it up to the top as well. And then when I come back out, you'll notice that they've been reorganized based on my customization. So you can add buttons, you can remove buttons, you can make it 2 buttons if you wanted to. That kind of personalization is exactly what this device needs. So if I want to make it just sound profile and airplane mode, I can do it just like that. And I like that customization, the ability to do that. So you've got your settings button here with Ice Cream Sandwich as well. Sound, display, home screen. It's got a couple of different goodies out of the box with theme, animations. Got my swipe screen effects. I can change it to layer, for example, panorama, carousel, accordion. And so when I hit OK and you see I scroll back and forth, you're not really seeing it here as well, but when you scroll back and forth between the screens, it implements that different home screen navigation. Same thing when you're scrolling from page to page over here as well. Like if you're scrolling, let me see if I can find something to scroll between. You get the idea. If you're scrolling between menus or scrolling between applications, it'll do that accordion effect all the way around. So that's a cool customization feature as well. Really enjoying these, and I like that that's what this phone brings to the table, in addition to price and some other goodies. 4G LTE, like I said, and we are running 4G in the Dallas metro area. Display, I can come in here and turn on widescreen, which is very familiar to something else that we've seen on another manufacturer, where you can put it on, it'll watch your eyes, and it will be super creepy and make sure that you don't turn the device off ever. I'm just kidding. Well, actually, I'm not really just kidding. That's kind of what it does. But font size is small. And then down here, again, home screen, you've got scrolling screens. I can just keep scrolling them in a circle. I've got my themes. I can go down through here and say, you know what, marshmallow theme, or how about a business theme? Because I use this phone for business. And then animation, swipe screens, and more. So you do have a reasonable level of personalization. Not quite up to par as TouchWiz and Sense, but still really up there in comparison to some of the other stuff on the market. Now, this has a 4.5-inch IPS display, like I said. And out of the box, you get really one keyboard and one keyboard alone. You get Google Voice typing, but you get the LG keyboard. And you'll see portrait to landscape, nice and fast all around. A little to no lag there, and you do get the full 4.5 inches. I think this is a sweet spot for a lot of people that think 5 and 5.3 and 5.5 is too big, but they think the 4 inches from the iPhone 5 is too small. This could be a great option for them. So we can say the Quick Brown Fox, and I'm doing a terrible job, so let's switch it back to portrait mode. Quick. And of course you have that kind of swipe-like functionality out of the box as well. So keyboard overall pretty easy to type on. There are third-party alternatives in the market that I'd strongly recommend. There's that Jelly Bean keyboard, Swift Key, and more. So you've got those choices out of the box. Web browser pretty decent as well. We'll go into Metro Web and sign in under Heron Baker. So we'll go in here and see Phone Dog. Take a look at the LTE. We'll do a speed test in part 2 so you can see that. But phonedog.com. We'll load this up, and you can see over here your tabs. So again, a typical LG look and feel, but what I like, and I keep saying this, but it's really important, so I keep harping on it, is you get the ability to get an LG device that's a decent device all around for an inexpensive price. Over on the build quality side, power button on the right side, micro USB charging port at the bottom, back, home, recent applications, / menu down here at the bottom. I'm sorry, menu at the bottom, recent applications, I believe, is pressing and holding home, which is exactly what it is. Volume rocker over on the left side, camera on the back as well. And of note, speaking on the camera side, this thing's got a 5-megapixel camera on the back with 1080p HD video recording. So you got that as an option. Keep it locked in phonedog.com. Part 2 is going to come up. We're going to do quadrant standard speed test and talk a little bit more about what makes this device unique. So stay tuned for part 2. And before I go, I give some love to our sponsors at Best Buy Mobile for giving us devices like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you're going to walk out working. They're going to get your phone set up, ready to go with your emails, your web, your contacts. So when you walk out the door, you're good to go at Best Buy Mobile. Stay tuned for part 2 on phonedog.com.